When your child finally gets their hands on their first phone, it's an exciting moment, almost comparable to when they get their first car. It signifies a significant milestone towards their independence and serves as a way for them to demonstrate their trustworthiness. Nevertheless, it's important to acknowledge that getting your child a phone also comes with certain risks. To help them navigate their new device, it's crucial to establish clear rules and guidelines. So, what's the optimal approach to managing your child's first phone? Here are 5 useful tips to help you get started. Tip number 1. Choose the right device. Choose a device that allows you some control, but that gives your child some leeway too. For instance, phones that are made for children with restrictions already in place can be too limiting for both child and parent. Standard phones already have plenty of options for parental controls that give kids and parents some freedom. It's best to choose a device that links with what your family already uses. For example, if you use an iPhone, it makes sense for your child to use an iPhone as well. That way, you can use the same cloud, have access to Find My iPhone, use family sharing, and have more control over your child's phone than if it were outside your network. Having phones on different networks makes it more challenging to track, manage, and keep your child safe. Tip number 2. Activate built-in parental controls. Most phones have built-in parental controls, and it's a good idea to use them. Activate features like screen time, ask to buy, restricted websites, and app limits. The more parental controls you put on the phone, the less you need to worry when your child uses their phone without you nearby. Tip number 3. Establish boundaries. You want your kids to have a sense of freedom as they grow up, while also making sure they aren't being exposed to more than they can handle for their age and maturity level. So from the start, establish rules and boundaries with the phone. For example, have a designated spot for the phone at night to avoid distractions and promote better sleep. Use a shared password and set expectations for immediate responses to your calls or texts. Tip number 4. Tech check-in. Let them know from the beginning that you'll check in on their phone activity. Don't have a set day and time that you do this though. Instead, do random checks of your child's phone. This will ensure you see the true phone activity rather than the cleaned up version you get when they know you're going to check it. Tip number 5. Choose apps together. This doesn't mean your child can't ask you for a new app, but together you'll review the app and decide if it is age appropriate. You should read the app's description and reviews and talk to other parents about which apps they think are appropriate. Giving your child their first phone can be scary, but it's a step toward independence and maturity. Don't let your child have free reign with the phone at first and then try to restrict them. Instead, set the rules from the start and even consider having them sign a phone contract so you are both on the same page. That way, you ensure your child uses the phone according to your guidelines and understands the consequences if they don't. Learn more at BrightCanary, and for more helpful tips, hit the subscribe button.